Hey there, Chef Kris here at the Clubhouse with another one of our virtual chef presentations. And today we're going to be going over an old school recipe from Spain. We're going to be doing a cold vegetable soup, very flavorful, very exciting, gazpacho. And this is a recipe that I fell in love with when I went with my wife a couple years back. We did a week in Madrid and Barcelona and tasted amazing food and did incredible things. We went and saw some amazing sights. If you ever get the chance to go, I would recommend Barcelona first and then Madrid. But if you get the chance to go to Spain, it'll change your life, and it changed mine. And so I'm really excited to share this dish with you, this gazpacho dish. It's a traditional but chunky. It's beautiful for a nice cold day, nice warm day like we have now. It's got a lot of good zip, a lot of fresh flavors, and a little bit of heat to it. And I think you guys are really gonna dig it, so let's check it out. Now, if you have any questions about this recipe or any of the other recipes that I'm doing here at the Clubhouse, you can get me at this email, souschef@springrun.com. Hit me up, let me know. If I see you here at the Clubhouse, you come in for dinner, or even lunch, just ask for me. I'd love to come out and talk to you about it. And of course, if you have any suggestions, just let me know. So let's get started. All right, so we're gonna start with, we have our boiling water here. We have our ice water here. What does that have to do with gazpacho? We're gonna peel our tomatoes. So, as you can see, we've gone ahead and scored an X in the bottom of each of them. Thusly, okay, you don't need an X, you only need an X, you don't need to do like a star or anything like that. And then we're just gonna gently drop those right into the boiling water. And what that's gonna do is that's gonna cook the outside of the tomato, but it's gonna leave the inside still raw and actually even cold. So we're gonna let that bounce around for a minute until the skins start to peel. This will take about 5 to 7 minutes. So here we are at 5 minutes, and you can kind of see there's been some cracking that's taking place. Our skin is further separating from the flesh. So I'm gonna pull these out, drop them right into ice water. And what's gonna happen is that flesh is gonna cool off, and the skin's gonna cool off so rapidly that the flesh and skin are gonna separate from each other even further. So we're gonna drop these in here, like so, and we're gonna let those sit for another 3 minutes. So we've got our cooled tomatoes here. We're just gonna go in and take out the core. And you can do this ahead of time. You can do this when you're scoring the tomatoes, and just pop that out. Okay, and you just peel the skin right off your tomato, just like that. And what that's gonna do is that's gonna change the texture. We're not looking for a chewy gazpacho, we're gonna be looking for something soft. And so the more skin, the more of this texture you can remove, the silkier it's going to be, the smoother it's going to be. So we're gonna do this to all 4 of these tomatoes. So now we've peeled all of our tomatoes. Now we're gonna cut and drain our tomatoes. So I've got my peeled tomato here. I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna cut it widthwise so that I get 2 halves like that. And then I'm gonna take these and squeeze them into my strainer here so I can preserve the juice, but get the seeds out of there, because the seeds are gonna be a completely different texture that's gonna keep it from being as silky as possible when we blend our gazpacho. So I'm gonna do this to all of my tomatoes, and then I'm gonna just chunk them up and dice them up a little bit so that they're a little bit more bite-sized. So you can see after we've cut our tomatoes, we've got maybe about a 1/4 cup to a 1/2 cup of actual tomato juice in there. What we're gonna do is I've supplemented with this tomato juice. I'm just gonna go ahead and add that right in there, and that's gonna be the liquid for our gazpacho. So we're gonna start putting all that together now. So I'm starting with our tomatoes that we've diced up. We've got some delicious European cucumbers here. Now I've skinned them, but I left the seeds in because the seeds have a lot of flavor in them and they don't have the same texture as tomato seeds. So we'll still be able to blend it up and have it be silky. All right, and these are, again, European because it's more flesh than seed. So I'm gonna add those in there. I've got some red peppers that I've gone ahead and chopped up, seeded and chopped up. And then I've got some red onions that I've gone ahead and chopped up. And so those are your veggies. We're gonna add our flavorings now. So we have balsamic vinegar. That's about a tablespoon. And that's some good stuff too. It's a 15-year balsamic vinegar we have here at the club. It's pretty intense. This is Worcestershire sauce. Again, just good old Lean Parents Worcestershire. A little bit of garlic. A little bit of diced jalapeno that we've seeded and removed the white from the middle of. Got a little bit of toasted and ground cumin. We're gonna sprinkle that in here. We've got the juice of one lemon, or one lime. And then we're gonna add our tomato juice. And we're gonna go all the way with that. Just stir it around so that it marinates well. We're gonna add a little kosher salt. And just a smidge of fresh ground pan-toasted black pepper. Add a little stir. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and take some of this and put it in our blender so that it thickens, and we'll have a little bit of a chunkier gazpacho. So we've taken about half of our mixture and put it into our blender. We're gonna blend this for about 20 seconds on high speed. And that should be just about enough. There we go. And you can see we got the puree going on. We got a little chunkiness going on there. I'm gonna blend in a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, just so it gives it a little bit of mouthfeel, a little richness, a little bit of that earthy olive oil flavor. We'll give that a good stir. I'll actually move this out of the way and kind of get this so you guys can see better. There we go. We're going to check our flavor. Really good. A lot of good tomato elements. You get that freshness, that cleanness from the cucumber that's in there, the zip of the onions and the garlic. I am going to hit it with a little bit more salt and just a little bit of black pepper, just because I really want those elements to sit up. Salt brings out all of the flavors. It draws them forward so that your palate recognizes them better. I'm going to try it again, see where we're at. A little onion on there. Why? Because I can. And I'm just going to go with the rest of the jalapeno, because I like a nice spicy gazpacho. But salt-wise, acidity, that's right where it needs to be. And so there's your finished gazpacho. You can let this sit for a couple days in the fridge. I would recommend putting a cover over it and letting it sit in the fridge for 2 hours before you serve it, just so all the flavors can blend well together. Okay, so something I didn't tell you. Have the kids left the room? if you want to make this a really great soup, if you're having some adults over, some friends over to the house for a dinner party or something, they have this wonderful cucumber vodka. And so I've got a little bit of it here. I'm going to add it in, and it becomes a drunken gazpacho soup. And it's a nice, crisp, clean flavor. It's got a little zip to it. If you're doing a cocktail hour, this fits right in. So I'm going to give it a little blend. And again, the more you let that sit, the more that the vodka will seep into the vegetables, and the flavor is just phenomenal with this. So tell your friends, but don't tell your kids. So here's our finished dish. I've actually presented it in a cocktail glass, a little bit of diced chive, and some delicious Hass avocado, and a little drizzle of extra virgin olive oil. So it all comes together after it's chilled for a little while, and it sits really nicely. It's a great starter to your party. It's a great, cool soup to enjoy for lunch on a hot summer's day. So there you have it, my take on a classic gazpacho recipe. I remember enjoying that gazpacho sitting in the shadow of the Sagrada Familia, which is a huge, beautiful church right in downtown Barcelona. And the culture, the flavors, the passion that they have for life and for living really just shines through in their food and their culture. So again, if you get a chance to check it out, I would encourage you to get out there. Again, Chef Kris from the Clubhouse, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.